Guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours, where there is a lot of news to discuss. Firstly, we have more updates, of course, on the return of Lionel Messi. Secondly, Diego Simeone has given updates on how Joao Felix and also Yannick Carrasco could be joining Barcelona this summer. We have updates on Gundogan, Kimmich, right back situation as well with Cancelo, Pavard, and also Julian Araujo. Update on the Aubameyang situation as well. But of course, we do need sales this summer. We have an update on the sale of Franck Kessie, Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres. Update on Deco coming in, Titi sale as well, Jordi Alba, how much money he gave up to leave Barcelona and where he could be joining later on, how UEFA are trying to sanction Barcelona again and ban them from the Champions League due to the Negreira Case, and finally we do have Xavi's huge interview with Mundo Deportivo, where he gave us every single detail of all of our questions, summer priorities, who's going to go, who's going to stay, Champions League next season, La Liga Champions League next season, what's the priority in that sense, and also how difficult it will be this summer, and what's his priority to reinforce Barcelona's squad for the upcoming summer transfer window. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes this video, be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. Now, we firstly have some updates on Barcelona's midfield recruitment, you could say. Firstly, on Ilkay Gundogan, where Sport are reporting that Barcelona has practically closed the signing of Ilkay Gundogan. The club has convinced him with a 3-year contract and have assured him that he will be registered. Now, of course, Sport not too reliable, and it is coming in from Miguel Sanz, the reporter for Sport. Not too reliable, but he was the first reporter to say that Mateo Alemán was going to be coming back to Barcelona and it won't be going to Aston Villa. So maybe his sources lately have been on point, so take that as you will. I still don't think we'll get a definitive answer until after the Champions League final on June the 10th, which of course is when the 10-day Messi countdown ends as well. We also have an update on another German midfielder, and that is of course Joshua Kimmich. The reports coming in from Germany saying that neither Barcelona nor Real Madrid are options for Kimmich right now. He sees his future at Bayern Munich. Again, even if he was available, the price for him would be astoundingly ridiculous at around 80 to 100 million euros as a total package. I think Barcelona at the moment are not at the capability to spend that kind of money, so I don't see his signing very clear. I think the only way the signing will be possible is if he pushes for the move, hands in a transfer request, whatever the case may be. But right now, things in Bayern Munich aren't going too well. Of course, Goretzka is being pushed out, Pavard, Davies is considering his future, so a lot of if, buts, and maybes right now at Bayern Munich. I think it's too early to really analyze their situation, so we'll wait and see on that. But the most likely German midfielder to join Barcelona this summer is of course Ilkay Gundogan. Now, a midfielder that has been on Barcelona's radar for years now, and his return was said to be very possible next year when he was going to be a free agent, but now he's renewed his contract, is of course Dani Olmo. We all thought he wasn't going to renew his contract with RB Leipzig, but RB Leipzig made a breakthrough. They put a release clause in his contract, and Dani Olmo put pen and paper to a brand new 4-year deal. Fabrizio Romano's come out saying that Dani Olmo will renew his contract with RB Leipzig until 2027 and will have a release clause of 60 million euros. Now, if you want to get Dani Olmo this summer before he renewed his contract, I think RB Leipzig were asking for around 30, you could say, but of course Barcelona wanted him for free next year, but now it's no longer the case. He'll have a 60 million euro release clause though, which isn't too bad. I think if we're desperate for a player of his quality and we need something with a player with his profile, 60 million isn't a bad price, so you can keep your eyes on that. I still honestly think at some point in the next few years Dani Olmo will return to Barcelona, but now things have gotten a bit more complicated. I think next year the club probably would have move some things around, maybe sell some players or bring in Dani Olmo on a free, but that's no longer the case. He has put pen and paper on a brand new 4-year deal at RB Leipzig, but there is that release clause where you never know in the future Barcelona could activate, but now his signing in the future has become a bit more complicated than it was before. Now, a position where Barcelona have to make a signing in this summer is of course the right back position. It is considered one of the priorities, but there has been complications over the past few days in reinforcing that position, with the main candidates falling through. Of course, mainly Joao Cancelo, where apparently Manchester City do not want to sell Cancelo or loan Cancelo to Barcelona directly. But there are reports coming in from Germany saying that Joao Cancelo does not see his future at Bayern Munich, and return to Munich is very unlikely. He also does not want to play in England anymore either, neither for Man City nor at Arsenal. Now, Arsenal, of course, were linked with Cancelo for over recent weeks. An option to come in to reinforce that position for them too. 40 million. Arsenal could have paid that, the apparent asking price that Man City wanted. But now he doesn't want to go back to England. That clearly states that his eyes are set on a Barcelona move. I think if the player pushes, we can negotiate a bit with Man City. I still think this option is on the table. Of course, Javier Miguel a few hours ago, 48 hours ago or so, came out saying that that option now is impossible because Man City don't want to sell to Barcelona in any way, shape, or form. But I think if the player pushes, Barcelona negotiate, get a little magic from Jorge Mendes, I still think this option is on the table. But one of the backup options, of course, besides from Cancelo and Foyth, was of course Benjamin Pavard, where articles come out saying that Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, and Inter are all interested in signing Benjamin Pavard, who wants to leave Bayern Munich this summer. They want around 30 million euros plus variables for him. Now, Cancelo is going to be around the same price. I think, again, Man City apparently want around 40, so 10 million difference from Pavard and Cancelo. I think Cancelo is better. I think if it's a profile better, he can play, of course, left back and right back as well. Yes, he's a bit older, and you could argue that I think Pavard could be the profile that Xavi's looking more at right back, similar, like a Juan Foyth Pavard profile, similar to Koundé as well. But I think Cancelo just fits the mold better. I get it, he's a bit older. I still wouldn't pay that for Cancelo, nor would I even pay this for Pavard, someone who's going to be free in a year. But with all these clubs being interested, I think someone might pay. I think he's probably destined for Inter. I see him going to Inter, but you never know. Keep your eyes on it. I still don't think he's a clear, concrete option for Barcelona. I think he's an alternative to, Cancelo, Foyth, maybe an Arnau Martinez or so. I think he's in the list, but not top 3, but possibly top 5. So we'll wait and see with Benjamin Pavard. But there is someone internally who could be Barcelona's reinforcement in the right back position. He does feel like a new signing. It is Julian Araujo, the man who's been invited to all the farewells and trophy liftings without doing a single damn thing. Now, Sport have come out saying that Julian Araujo will do preseason with the first team to show that he deserves a chance. He's training well. He has integrated into the group clearly, and he has all the options to stay as well as, though, to leave, most likely, of course, on loan. And then Javier Miguel from AES came out saying that Barcelona are seriously considering Julian Araujo to be one of the options next season for the right back position in the first team. At the moment, Barcelona's options right now for right back are Julian Araujo and Roberto, with Koundé not being going to be playing in that position again, and signs up Juan Foyth, Diego Dalot, Joao Cancelo being a bit complicated. So it looks like Araujo will be one of the options at right back next season, which, to be honest, not too upset about. As long as Roberto isn't in that top 2, I'm Gucci. I would have Araujo and Cancelo, Araujo Pavard, Araujo Foyth, Araujo Arnau Martinez. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Again, there have been a lot of mixed reports on Araujo in recent months. Some people are saying his training is very poorly, Barcelona want to get rid of him. Some people are saying that he's training well, Xavi likes him. Some people are saying that he's training okay, but preseason will determine everything. So a lot of mixed reports on Araujo, I must say. But what's clear is that Barcelona are analyzing him to be an option to reinforce the right back position for the first team this upcoming season. Now, of course, this summer, Barcelona plan on reinforcing the attack as well, and we have been linked with a few names from the actual manager speaking about his players coming to Barcelona, and it is Diego Simeone of Atletico Madrid speaking about Joao Felix and also about Yannick Carrasco as well. Now, firstly on Felix, he was asking me only on bids for Joao Felix as he's set to leave Chelsea because Pochettino does not want to keep him, so we'll have to wait and see what the proposals are. If they'll be good financially for the club, that is crucial. Spanish clubs, we'll wait and see with that. And then he was asked if the Atletico Madrid board tells you there's a bid from Barcelona, what would you do? He said, well, for the way Barcelona play, he'd be an important player. Now, the reports are is that Barcelona at the moment are not in for Felix, but you just never know. I honestly think if the price is right, the club will be in for him. I believe his agent is Jorge Mendes, and also just like Dani Olmo, clear as day, Joan Laporta is a big fan of the player. We do need a striker. Again, Joao Felix is not a striker. He's a false 9. He's a Memphis Depay, Coutinho, Griezmann profile, which I think, absolutely flops at Barcelona. But hey, the name's being mentioned, so you just never know. I think the price that we're hearing for Joao Felix at the moment is around 70, 80, maybe 60 if you can get a good deal for him. I think Barcelona can't compete with that. Also, Victor Roca, who fits the profile better, way cheaper. So keep Felix in your mind. I think at the moment that is dead in the water, but one that's not dead in the water is, of course, Yannick Carrasco. Diego Simeone, the Atletico Madrid manager, came out saying that Yannick Carrasco has the option this summer to join Barcelona, which is a great opportunity for him. I want the good players to stay, but if they leave, I thank him for everything. And again, this is the tweet from Fabrizio Romano saying that Barcelona have the option around close to 20 million euros to sign Yannick Carrasco this summer. So Diego Simeone holding nothing back, saying that look, he can join Barcelona this summer. If he does, I wish him all the best. I don't want my good players to leave, but it's a great opportunity for him. So again, Carrasco option is on the table, but the price is not in favor of Barcelona. Mundo Deportivo have come out saying that Barcelona agreed a purchase clause of almost 20 million euros to Yannick Carrasco from Atletico Madrid. However, as of this moment, Barcelona are not even willing to pay half of that for the player. Again, they want to kind of pull an Atletico Madrid on Atletico Madrid, agree a price, beg them for half and get half. Of course, we agreed, I think, a 40 million euro buy option for Griezmann. If certain conditions were met, they tried to do some wiggle rooms. Said, hey, 25 million, let's just call it even, and Barcelona took it. So if Barcelona can do that here as well, maybe try again for around 9 million, that's a bargain, but I think 20 million is still a bit overpriced for him. So we'll wait and see on Carrasco, but no doubt he is 100% a very likely option for Barcelona this summer. Now, an option that's been on the table for Barcelona for a few months now, but it looks like that option now is slowly falling away, is the option to bring in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to reinforce the number 9 position, to of course provide coverage and competition for Robert Lewandowski. Reports coming in from England suggesting that Aubameyang, who's one of the transfer options for Barcelona, has received a big offer from Saudi Arabia, and at the current moment, he's not a priority for the Catalan club. Again, Aubameyang was always the number 2 or number 3 to the Victor Roca operation, and we had to bring Victor Roca and maybe loan him back out to get the price cheaper. Aubameyang could have came in for a year, covered competition for Lewandowski, and then left. Of course, he came during the 2-1 celebration for the Clasico when Franck Kessie scored in the last second. Everyone was saying, Alba stay in the dressing room. So again, his character is still very big, and Xavi has come out in his recent 1 billion interviews saying that he never wanted to sell Aubameyang. He was sold strictly for financial purposes. He wanted to keep him. He loves Aubameyang. So I think the connection is still there. I honestly think the option is still there as well. I think if Aubameyang is offered $1 million per week in Saudi Arabia or $1,000 per week in Barcelona, he would take Barcelona. He can get that Saudi offer in a year's time for sure. Maybe be a bit lower numbers, but still very sufficient. Probably set him for life, honestly. So we'll wait and see with Alba. I think what he's gonna do is gonna wait a little bit for the Barcelona option, see where it goes. If it starts to die down heavily, he might take the Saudi Arabia option, but keep your eyes on Alba this summer. I think there's still a little bit of a possibility for a Barcelona return, but no doubt it is deteriorating quite a bit. But of course, Barcelona's number 1 priority for the upcoming summer transfer window is, of course, the greatest human being to ever touch a football, Lionel Andres Messi. We do have big updates on his possible return, hopefully reality return to Barcelona. We're going to go through the whole entire, saga in order from Jordi Alba's farewell day till, of course, present day on Saturday, June the 3rd. Firstly, coming in from Sport, they came out saying that Inter Miami already sent a formal offer to Messi. The offer is for 4 years and includes a salary of 50 million euro per year. The American club would also try to lure Sergio Busquets and meet the player again as well. John then came out saying that Leo Messi's family was not very happy with the way he revealed the news about La Liga and the meeting a few days ago. Again, he came out with that blockbuster news that looks to be confirmed, and Messi's family were not too happy with the way he released it, but there he goes. The news is pretty much concrete. Then Javier Tebas spoke about Barcelona's transfer viability plan. He said that, look, I don't know if they'll be able to sign Messi or someone else, but some players will be incorporated if those have to leave. Soon they will have the answer about their feasibility plan. Now, he was at an event and he said other quotes about Barcelona that were irrelevant, I don't care about. Shortly after that, Javier Tebas pulled up to Barcelona. Out of nowhere, Jordi and his crew at Gentes caught him in the airport going into a car, and he was set to meet with Barcelona, which we'll talk about, of course, later on. On the Saudi Arabia option, Jordi Alba still come out saying that as of today, Leo Messi's Saudi Arabia option is frozen on his point of view. Juan Marti confirmed this as well, saying that the Saudis are no longer as hopeful about signing Messi, and they're not entirely sure if they'll be able to do so in any way, shape, or form. Fabrizio Romano then came out saying that I think Messi's going to wait a few more days for Barcelona before deciding. He's speaking with Xavi constantly, he's speaking with Barcelona as well. He's very tempted, but he can't say / do much until he receives a formal proposal. We then got the news of why Javier Tebas was in Barcelona. Gigantes came out saying that Javier Tebas had lunch with Joan Laporta and other members of the Barcelona board, which lasted around 2.5 hours. Pending the final okay of the feasible plan, there has been good harmony between both parties, and the meeting between Javier Tebas, Joan Laporta, and other board members was at the home of the Barcelona president. So this took place in Joan Laporta's house, which is a key factor. After this, Jordi Alba's farewell ceremony happened. Then after Jordi Alba's farewell ceremony, Juan Marti, Mr. Negative, came out saying the club is leaking that they are no longer expecting the final green light by next week for La Liga. Motherfucker, man. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. They also suggest they consider Leo Messi's return as good as done, but now all of a sudden it's back up in the air. Jordi Alba also came out saying the club believes the green light will now come in about 10 days time, not this Monday, but calm down. This is the information coming from the club. They want to leak this. So the club have told, journalists to say to the media that Barcelona expect the green light for the feasible plan in about 10 days, but Jordi Alba, of course, has La Liga sources, and they're saying it should be coming in for around Monday. So Jordi Alba is saying calm down again. It's just coming in from Barcelona. They want to leak this, but so Barcelona trying to leak that the green light is going to come in 10 days, which of course Messi has given the club 10 days to decide whether or not they can sign him or not. So I think that coincides in a big factor way. Henrique Codes from Cope came out saying that Barcelona trusts that Leo Messi will not decide anything until he finally speaks with Barcelona. The club is not giving up, although the approval of the feasible plan may take another week. So exactly what Barcelona are trying to leak. But then Sport came out saying that everything indicates that La Liga will give the approval on Tuesday. Joao Felix then came out saying that the Liga sources say that the meeting on Monday there will be a verdict on the feasible plan, and during the course of next week it will be communicated to Barcelona. So Joao Felix saying, look, on Monday La Liga will have an answer for Barcelona. They will tell them in the next few days after that, but on Monday they will finally have the decision. They'll make the verdict, green light or no green light on the visibility plan. And then finally Gold came out saying that next week they will be key to knowing Messi's future, and Barcelona are moderately optimistic. So the reality is at some point next week we're going to get some big news. Again, Messi's giving the 10-day countdown. That's going to end at some point next week. I believe it's on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. It's on Saturday. So it's going to be on the Champions League final day, if I'm not mistaken, or some game is playing. They may Real Madrid against Barcelona B, something like that. It's a big game happening that day. Anyways, that's what we're going to get expecting the green light. The fact that this is dragging on more and more, I am getting worried, but I am remotely positive because Messi's going to wait for Barcelona. He's given them 10 days. I think in 10 days we will get a big advancement in some way, shape, or form, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, we do have more updates on Leo Messi because the first team manager and best friend of Messi, Xavi Hernandez, spoke to Mundo Deportivo in a big interview about Barcelona's upcoming summer. I will talk a lot about that interview near the end of the video, but in this section, I'm going to talk about the quotes he came out with on Messi. This is quotes directly from Xavi. He's come out saying that Messi will decide his future next week. He has 100% okay for me to come to Barcelona. I know that he'll help us if he decides to come. I think that he has the football to continue at a high level, and if he comes to Barcelona, what everyone of us wants, the doors are always open. I'm convinced that it will go well. He was then asked the contractual issue control. He said that according to what they tell me, yes, but especially at the end of this, the coach who has to give the final okay to him, and he has 100% the final okay from me. The journalist then asked him, you said that 99% depends on Messi. If there is no formal offer for the issue of La Liga, isn't it too much to say 99%? It may seem like a little pressure on Messi. Xavi said, let's see. As for the football issue, it depends on him. For me, there is no doubt if Leo decides to come, he has the door open. I know he's going to help us. I am in charge of the staff, and I have all the confidence and the enthusiasm of my staff to buy him. There is no doubt. I have no doubt that he'll be able to help us along the football level. From there, the contract issue is no longer my concern. So Xavi's 99% was all sporting wise. That's up to Messi. Contractual is not up to him. He said that, look, the club asked me what I want. I say that. I get the final okay. Now it's up to them. He has 100% okay to come from my side, and 99% of the decision based on him is, of course, Sporting. Xavi continued on by saying that Lionel Messi is a leader. He would adapt perfectly to the circumstances, and he has been the captain of this club. He has been the best player in history, and obviously of this club as well. There will be no doubt. I insist and I repeat, because the coach has the doors open 100%. So that's Xavi's call again to Messi. He's saying that, look, Messi has my okay. I hope he comes. There's nothing sportingly that's stopping Messi. I want him. The players want him. The staff wants him. It's, an undisputed yes from absolutely everyone. So we'll wait and see on Leo. Again, next week is gonna be huge. If we don't get the green light by Wednesday, I think we're in the mud, because I'm hoping that Monday they get their answer and then they communicate to Barcelona in the next few days. But once it leaks on Monday, everyone knows we're gonna get the green light eventually. So we'll wait and see. But again, Messi's future is getting closer and closer to his final decision, and Barcelona are right there in the race. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 48 hours. We do have an update on the main three candidates to leave to bring in much needed revenue for Barcelona, and that's, of course, Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres, and Franck Kessie. It's all coming in from Javier Miguel from AES. First, on Ansu Fati, he's come out saying that Xavi will open the doors for Ansu Fati to leave, as the coach won't be able to guarantee him minutes. His father and Jorge Mendes want the player to leave, while Ansu Fati wants to stay. Playing for Wolves is not convinced the player either. On Ferran Torres wants to stay, while the club has other plans for him. The coaches are satisfied with his work, but the player lacks confidence in his game, and at the club it's considered that a change of scenery would be ideal for all parties. Finally, on Kessie, Franck Kessie's transfer is more out of economic necessity than sporting, since the coaching consider him a very useful player. Barcelona expects $3 million for the player, which will allow them to sign Ruben Neves. Firstly, on Ansu Fati, Xavi's telling him, look, you're not going to get any minutes next season. Both his father and his agent, the two most important men in his life, you could say, want him to leave. But again, no clear options on the table. Atletico Case from Cope came out saying this a few days ago. So has Mateo Morito, saying that, look, Ansu Fati right now has no offers apart from Wolves, and he does not want to go to Wolves. Fair enough to him. Now, on Ferran Torres, this one for me is very, very interesting. He says that they say that at the club, it's considered that a change of scenery would be ideal for all parties. I think that does open the door for a loan. I don't know if a loan will help us financially, but I think a loan is definitely an option for Ferran Torres. And on Kessie, they're going to sell him just to earn some money. The player wants to stay. The coaching staff want to keep him. Xavi is happy with him. We're selling him simply to earn money. If you think about it on paper, would you swap Ruben Neves and Franck Kessie? To be honest, I don't really care that much. I think Kessie is a great player to have. He's kind of like that profile that we've always had in our team when we want to be successful. I think Ruben Neves is just way better on the ball, so he might fit the system a tad bit better, but I still like having that kind of Franck Kessie profile in the team. We'll wait and see. I believe at least 2 out of these 3 players will leave. I would not be surprised if all 3 left. I would be surprised if only 1 left, and I would be shocked if none of them left. I think Franck Kessie is all but out the door. He brings in money. Apparently, Inter want him a lot. Inter showing the most interest, but they want to swap players where Barcelona wants straight cash. Ferran Torres, again, his price is 25 million if anyone wants him. Aston Villa couldn't get Asensio for free. I think Asensio now is going to PSG, so that still opens the Aston Villa door option. Hopefully, Unai Emery can give him a call and convince him. But with Fati, it's 60 million, 70 million, and ain't no one trying to pay that. No one trying to offer him a deal at the moment. So wait and see on these players' future. But these 3 players are the 3 most likely players to have an immediate exit at Barcelona in the next month. Now, a player that will 100% be leaving Barcelona this summer is, of course, Samuel Umtiti, where Barcelona have begun to make moves on his exit. There are reports coming in saying that Barcelona are negotiating over his departure right now, with Lyon ready to pay around 4 million euros for the French center back. Honestly, 4 million for me, fantastic deal. I'd probably try to push it for 5 with some variables, and that for me is probably the best deal you can get out for Umtiti, but I'm happy that there is going to be a transfer fee in there. Of course, still has 2 years left on his deal. Had a great season with Lecce. They gave him that big send-off and all this stuff, so he's done well. He's recovered from his triple knee operation surgery that he risked himself for the World Cup. And also, he didn't say that the imprisoned quotes I talked about a few days ago were incorrectly translated, so I want to apologize to Umtiti for me absolutely going ham into him. But nonetheless, I think his exit is of course going to happen. Hopefully be done by June the 30th. That way we can incorporate his exit in the transfer budget, and also balance the books as well. And it will of course have good implications for Messi coming back as well. Much needed revenue coming in. If you can get 5 million variables, absolutely happy days. Now, another player who also 100% will be leaving Barcelona this summer but on a loan is, of course, Pablo Torre, where Sport have come out saying that Barcelona continues to believe in Pablo Torre's potential, but the club is looking for a loan move for him. The club considers a La Liga side as the best option for him to develop. Miguel from AES came out confirming this as well, saying that Pablo Torre will play on loan in La Liga. Both the club and the player agreed on this decision. Villarreal are the clear favorites. Barcelona would accept a 1-year loan with no purchase option. There are also reports apparently that Girona are interested as well. I do hope Mateo Alemán sticks firm on his loan moves to La Liga, putting the clauses in their contract saying that if he plays against Barcelona, a fine must be paid, like we did this season with Nico and Abdi. I don't want Pablo Torre to come in and ruin our season. Comes in, Camp Nou masterclass, and we end up losing the game. I don't want the case. I also wouldn't mind loaning Pablo Torre to Las Palmas as well. Of course, Garcia Pimienta, former Barcelona B coach, knows the style very, very well. I wouldn't mind loaning him there. So we'll wait and see what the options come up as the weeks go on. But 100% Pablo Torre will leave on loan, and very, very likely it will be to a La Liga club. Now, the final player who will not only 100% leave Barcelona, but 1000% will leave Barcelona is, of course, Jordi Alba. He had his farewell ceremony a few days ago. Very, very emotional, but the legendary left back will be leaving the Catalan club, where Fernando Polo from Deportivo came out saying that Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan, and Benfica have all contacted Jordi Alba's agent to show their interest. If Jordi Alba leaves Spain, I will be shocked. I would bet $50 he's going to Atletico Madrid, which would absolutely break my heart. I want him to go anywhere, and I mean anywhere. But Atletico Madrid, I think he will end up there. I think a move to Inter Milan would be very, very good for him. I think Benfica as well. Champions League football, you can't go wrong. So I really don't care where he goes, but I hope he doesn't go to Atletico Madrid. We'll wait and see what he decides over the next few weeks. But one thing for certain is that Jordi Alba has taken a huge salary reduction, which of course Laporta did confirm in his farewell ceremony. Fernando Polo and Ferran Martinez from Deportivo came out saying that Jordi Alba signed the cancellation of his contract yesterday and gave up more than 60% of what he was supposed to receive from the remaining year of his contract. He was supposed to receive around 35 million. So he gave up 60% of that, about or so. Let me actually do the math right now. So if it says more than, so let's do 35. He's given up at least 21 million. How? You'll never see this in another sport. The love between a club, an institution, and its employee. The man gave up more than 21 million euros to help the club financially. How crazy is that? Legenda, absolute legend Jordi Alba. We appreciate your service. All the best in your future. Probably the best left back to ever play for this club. Just please don't go to Atletico Madrid, will all be good. But yeah, Jordi Alba giving up over 21 million euros, and he will decide his future very, very soon. Let's now discuss some of the news surrounding Barcelona over the past 48 hours. Firstly, on the appointment of our new sporting director, Deco. Of course, that has still not been announced, but everyone and their mother knows that Deco is coming in, but we just need that official confirmation. Relivo have come out saying that Deco will be announced as Barcelona's sporting director in July. He will not be able to assume his position until he dissociates himself from his agency. The plan is that he will sign for 3 seasons. And during this announcement, the club will also confirm that Mateo Alemán will be fulfilling his contract and staying. Again, everyone and their mother knows that Deco is coming in and Alemán is staying. I think they both pretty much confirmed this in the media on multiple occasions, but the official announcement will be coming in around July time. Now, on top of the issues that Barcelona already has with La Liga, it's gotten worse because UEFA have stuck their nose right back into Barcelona's business, bringing up the Negreira case. Now, there were reports coming in that UEFA plan on sanctioning Barcelona by banning them 1 year from the Champions League due to the Negreira case, and that they're going to send Barcelona the official sanction soon. When this report came out, I think it came out from ABC. When this report came out, John Demiro came out saying that Barcelona will not be sanctioned by UEFA. Calm down. Sport came out saying that sources close to Barcelona denied the information published by ABC that UEFA executives want to sanction the club. But then Gigantes came out saying the UEFA investigations have sent Barcelona a list of 71 questions which they want to have the answer back by next week, but nothing is decided as of now. It is well known that the case was open, but during the time Barcelona got their license to play in next season's Champions League. Mundo Deportivo also came out saying that 2 UEFA investigators are still preparing the report and they have not sent it to UEFA yet. They have not reached any conclusions so far. In addition, Barcelona say that they are still answering the questions that the inspectors have asked about. So again, the Negreira case in terms of the UEFA involvement is still ongoing. They're still asking for 71 questions to be answered, which I think is absolutely mad. Again, there has been no proof whatsoever. The moment the news of the Negreira case came out, there is nothing linking Barcelona to paying the referees. It's just, again, UEFA trying to push Barcelona's buttons because they are involved in the Super League. So we'll wait and see how things develop. But again, very unlikely Barcelona will be punished for the upcoming Champions League for the 2023-2024 season, but for the next one, 2024-2025, there could be a possible ban. Again, that's going to be the new season where they're going to have the league format and stuff like that. So we'll wait and see. But UEFA and Barcelona is still in negotiations over the Negreira case. Now, it's quite clear that Barcelona need to earn some money, and one of the ways for doing that is by releasing a documentary. A new era Barcelona 2.0 is set to be released. The club made an official statement saying a second season of Barcelona's A New Era will be coming on Amazon Prime. They said the exact date of the release will be notified later on, and the second season focuses on some of the key matches of the campaign, including unexpected defeats, painful injuries, big farewells, and all the pressure of representing such a powerful media like Barcelona. It also focuses on some of the young talents that have broken through this year, the fans streaming back to the spotlight Camp Nou, and the new hopes surrounding a team that has recovered its famous style. So essentially another documentary for the season that just passed, where we won the league and the Spanish Super Cup. We're going to see the behind the scenes of losing to Madrid 4-0, losing to Man United, the big losses in La Liga against Almeria, and the 2 draws back-to-back to Getafe and Girona, and all this stuff. Of course, celebrations as well will all be revealed in this documentary. Depending how big it is, I do plan on doing another documentary review video, so stay tuned for that. But again, it should be coming out very, very soon. I would suspect at some point this month, but again, the exact date has not been officially announced, so we'll have to wait and see how things develop with this. But again, Barcelona are planning on releasing another documentary. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is to go through Xavi's interview with Mundo Deportivo, where Xavi, again, as he has always been, super honest and transparent. He was asked about everything under the sun, and he's given all the answers. Of course, we already talked about the Messi part of the interview. I'm not going to speak on everything else. It's quite crazy, so let's get into it. Firstly, on Rafinha, Xavi's come out saying that Rafinha is not on the market. He's staying at Barcelona and he's going to help us a lot. He's a crucial player for me, but also a very important player because he makes the difference. Rafinha se queda. Next up, Carrasco. We've got the option to sign, of course, Yannick Carrasco this summer. It was negotiated by Mateo Alemán, so we will see. It depends on the next week what happens with Messi. We like Carrasco, yes, but I can't say more on that. Then asked about Bernardo Silva, saying that yes, Bernardo Silva was tempted last summer to join us. It's normal, players are always open to joining Barcelona. Bernardo would have been an excellent signing, obviously, that would have been fantastic, but he's a Man City player, and it's going to be very difficult to sign him this summer. Then asked on the pivot, Zubimendi and Kimmich are top players in their position. Of course, Kimmich has a long contract at Bayern, so the only chance would be negotiate with them, and that will depend on Bayern Munich. Then asked about Gundogan, saying that, well, the only thing I can share is that any footballer we are going to sign and that we have a chance to talk to wants to come here. I've not seen any player tell us no, I prefer to go to another club. So there's a big hint there from Xavi saying that, look, if we're talking to a player, they're basically saying yes, they want to come to us. So big hit on that. Then asked about Cancelo, saying that Joao Cancelo did not come to Barcelona in January simply because Man City did not want him to go to Barcelona. They didn't give me any reason other than that. Simply they couldn't be done because Man City said no to Barcelona. Ask City, ask Pep, or they're bored. I'm just sitting here thinking, imagine we got Cancelo in January. How different would our season have been? Would we have won the Copa del Rey or the Europa League? Remains to be seen, but I personally think that could have been a very blockbuster and changing signing. He then goes on to say, Xavi, it will be a very chaotic situation if we end up selling a certain player to fund other signings this summer. Xavi said that pretty much the Gala 11 will not be touched in any way, shape, or form. So that's what? Ter Stegen, Koundé, Araujo, Christensen, Balde, De Jong, Gavi, Pedri, Rafinha, Dembele, Lewandowski. all will not be touched this summer. So that's, of course, a positive sign, but he said it's going to be a chaotic summer, and you just never know, but he expects that the entire starting players will not be leaving this summer in any way, shape, or form. Then asked about Ansu Fati. I like Ansu Fati. I like him a lot. I think he's helped us many times. The problem is that he has struggled with a lot of injuries, and more injuries. He has to have, continuation in training sessions and matches, and then we'll decide on his future. So again, big blow there for Ansu Fati. I can't guarantee anyone continuation next season. I can't promise anything to anyone. I can't sign a player and promise him that he will play every single match. This is Barcelona, not a non-profit organization. Sheesh. Big man. Xavi then says, I love this club to sign a player. If I have to travel, if I have to call them, if I have to do whatever, I will do it. I have to do it for the team. In the end, I also have to take a lot of risks as a manager. The more top footballers we have, the better we can compete. So he's willing to do everything to sign a player that he wants. He'll travel, talk to them, have dinner, whatever the case may be. People are already demanding La Liga and the Champions League for next season, but the reality is that we're not at the same economic level as Man City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, or Juventus. We can sign whoever we want. The fair play issues affect us a lot. Then asked about Ruben Neves. This for me is very, very interesting. He said, look, he was asked, it seems that you have a lot of top priorities on your list, and Ruben Neves is not one of them. Xavi said, well, but he's still a good player. Can he adapt? We'll have to wait and see. We have different names. We have a plan A, plan B, plan C, 3 different scenarios. We'll have to see. This is a player who you could say is on the verge of joining Barcelona, and he will join Barcelona in my opinion at some point. And the manager's clearly stating he doesn't want him. So this for me is absolute madness. He's then asked about the loan players, more specifically, of course, on Abdi and Nico. He said that, look, I think that both Abdi and Nico improved on their loan deals. We'll see them in preseason. We'll have to evaluate where they are and where we are, and then we'll take a decision. He was then asked, Busquets mentioned Nico as a possible replacement for himself. Would you like that? Would you think that's a possibility? Xavi said yes, but I think that Nico is more of an offensive player. He has an attacking mentality, more dribbles, more dividing, more attacking. For example, the role Frenkie de Jong played this season. So Xavi stating again, he does not see Nico as a single pivot. He sees Nico as a box-to-box midfielder, similar profile to Frenkie de Jong, where he can play the position, but not the quality that we do need. So that could be a big blow for Nico unless Xavi plays him in the pivot during the preseason. He does well. I think that's Nico, not alone, hopefully Las Palmas. Then asked about Gundogan again, said that, are you worried about Ilkay Gundogan's future? He said, look, I can't tell you anything. I'm not worried about the future of a player whose contract expires. I am more worried about the financial fair play situation that we currently have. This summer, we're going to be in a very bad financial situation, the same, if not worse, than last summer. It's very worrying, but the club are doing their best. That's not too good. I think that next week we should know exactly how the possibility in the transfer window will look like. Again, saying that next week we're going to get the green light for the feasibility plan. And finally, trying to conclude off by saying the priority this summer is to sign a defensive midfielder, but we also need a striker or an advanced midfielder and a right back. Quickly, to end off this video. So Xavi said he wants a pivot, a right back, striker / attacking midfielder. So he kind of wants that Pedri or Victor Roca profile player. He's saying that our situation is going to be exactly like last summer, if not worse. Of course, last summer we activated about 6,000 economic levers. Will we do so this summer? I think we still have the other percent of Barca Studio that we could activate. Not quite too sure about that. And he doesn't see Nico as a replacement for Busquets. He pretty much does not want Ruben Neves. I think he wants Joan Cancelo. He wanted Joan Cancelo. Talks with Gundogan are good. Ansu Fati is not guaranteed minutes. Neither is anyone else in the club. The entire Gala 11 will not be touched, hopefully this summer, to fund transfers. And of course, Messi will wait and see next week. So next week is going to be crucial for Barcelona. We're going to get all the answers to all our problems. But Xavi is saying, look, this summer is going to be tough, but hopefully we come out with our heads held high and being able to push for big competitions next season. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to first see, of course, is your thoughts on the return of Lionel Messi. Think he'll come back or not? Secondly, on the option of Joao Felix and Carrasco, you think those options are very viable? Would you go for Carrasco or not? Thirdly, on the sales, Franck Kessie, Ansu Fati, I think all three of them will leave. 2 of them, 1 of them, maybe even none of them. Fourthly, your thoughts on the UEFA trying to sanction Barcelona again. And finally, your thoughts on Xavi's interview with Mundo Deportivo and all the points that he brought up. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.